Maybe there comes a time to admit that you've got a problem. Indesit. Found that yesterday on my street, IWB 71251. The spider's failed or something's collapsed inside it and it won't turn at all. Crazy cupcakes. This fellow, hot point. Don't know what's wrong with that. Found that. Don't know what to do with it, I don't want it. I have a feeling, it's a washer dryer, I have a feeling it's just going to get scrapped. This is for scrap, I've taken the motor out of it, it doesn't turn at all. That white stuff on the floor came out of the filter, it's all like the crumbs from the... Oh, what's the thing called? Spider. It's a dryer, it's filthy. That was down the road from my house, it's proper grim, I don't want that. This, up here, that's a bit of ballast. Broken. Concrete ballast, concrete in plastic ballast from a Samsung. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Bear that in mind. So that one's going to the scrapyard as well. It's all trash basically. Beko, found that as well. We're up to 4 machines. I don't know anything about this, but it's grim too. It's a door seal. I've been using it as an angle grinding shelf. The door seal is all torn. You can see there. It's not in a great way. So as an update video, here we are. I've been out finding things. Washing machines mainly. Some bikes. This Bosch, I went out on my bike, on the cargo bike one day, found this thing. I don't know, I could find out. It's a WAE, I think. A Bosch, but it's been badly Bosched on the side. So it's for scrap as well. Like, what is it? I don't want it, you know? That's kind of where we're at. So coming in here, Medivac. I've never seen one of these before. I met a fellow who had a skip outside his house. It was on his drive, so I knocked on his door and was chatting to him. Medivac. And he said, oh yeah, there's something in the skip. Go and have a look. This was way down the bottom. He helped me pull doors out of the top and all. Medivac, Wilmslow, Cheshire. This is a pneumatic, but it's branded Medivac with a different address. I've looked up about them, can't find anything about this. I think it's 1993 or 6, something like that, so that makes it 30 something years old. But it's basically a pneumatic. This is as it was. I've cleaned it. It had like a cup of coffee or something poured on it. It's like an old Henry. Same fittings as a Henry. It should take the same filter. I think really all they did was they put in, it has like an extra cartridge filter in underneath after, like as a pre-motor filter, but after the other filter that goes in there, so you have an extra stage of filtration. They still make a Medivac as a pneumatic, I think, or something similar. When I went and looked at it online, they still make something similar. It's just got more filters and uses a more a multi-layered bag to get better particle filtration for use in surgeries and whatnot. Samsung washer dryer. This one, remember that ballast outside? Did I mention this is the end of January 2025 update? Yeah, Samsung. Anyways, here we are. Digital inverter. Washer dryer. I bought this for money. Real money. Thinking I'll have a go. The guy who was selling it didn't know what was wrong with it because he found it in the bin. It turned out he lived in a block of flats. It was down by the bins. Some wear and tear here, mostly wear. The door doesn't seem to close properly. It's got one of those silly ad wash doors with this extra, well, you can't see that, this extra ad wash door which always leaks. I don't know what it is about them. Let's give it a wipe. They always leak. The one I have inside leaked and then broke, and I've used it, I've tested it, it works. Spoiler alert, there will be a video about this eventually. Spoiler alert, it works. I managed to fix it. In there, I had to make a new ballast because that one was broken. Could have bought one, but they're 40 to 70 quid depending on where you go. And then also there was a little hose in there that I don't know what it does. Maybe something to do with the tumble dryer or a breather hose or something like that. The ballast had collapsed onto that and damaged the hose. So I repaired the hose with tape, special rubber self-vulcanizing tape. I think that's what it is. And yeah, it came good. It seems to work, doesn't leak. It's missing the little door from down the bottom there, but so it is. That's how you're doing. So that's washing machines out here in the shed and out in the garden. Too many of them, if you ask me. It's tumble dryers mostly inside. We'll go in and have a look down in the cellar shortly. I've had a good run with finding stuff in skips recently. 3 brand new wheelbarrow tires and tubes. They were in a box. The box was a bit grotty. They're brand new. Like, I don't need them, but somebody bought them off eBay. So, yeah. This is a bottle of 7590 oil. The gearbox on my car, the Volkswagen Charan, crunches from first to second. Only occasionally, but Andy Reynolds suggested do the oil in the gearbox. As far as I'm concerned, gearbox oil is a sealed unit, but it's not really. You can't change it. So that's a 4 or 5 litre jug. It takes 2.5 litres. It's one of those interim things where it's cheaper to buy the big bottle than 3 small bottles. But hey ho. Let's see what else I found recently, because there's a lot of stuff kicking around. This battery. I found this roll of sash cord, nylon sash cord. That's, I think, a 100 metre coil. It's probably 3 metres gone off it. That wouldn't be cheap. That was in the skip with those tyres. This is a BMW lithium-ion battery. Got it home from the scrap, and it had 13 volts in it. So typically in the past I've given these to Andy Reynolds, but I'm not entirely sure that this one's good enough. It's probably too good to be chopped up, so I don't know what to do with it. Haven't decided yet, Andy. It's probably going your way later, but not right now. What else is up here? There's a box, there's a fan in that box. The fan went in the van. All these sash window accessories, they were in that skip. What else can we see? Some tools. There's nothing really that interesting over here. Oh, this WM54. Remember that washing machine? It went in the scrap. It was outside. I tried to sell it, which I don't normally do. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to pay any money for it, so it's gone. Loads of DeWalt screws on a tape. I don't need them. They were in that skip, along with a cricket helmet. This is just kind of me showing you random stuff that I found, but it serves to point out that I found that as well in a different skip. Stir for mixing up sauce. What would you call it? A mixing paddle for mixing up plaster. The point of me showing you all this stuff that I found, pretty much everything in here is found. That little welder is found. I used that to repair this machine. So that was a completely free repair other than my time. The point of this is you can find everything if you wait long enough and you've got your eyes open, you know? Just keep your eyes peeled, you'll find what you need. Up on top, sneak peek into the future. There's a bit of flashing. Somewhere over here, you can see this shed's quite full. Where that gas bottle is, there will be a stove and chimney going up to the ceiling north of Power Orange there. Stove is yet to be built, but we've got the clay in now to line the stove. The bottles are outside. The chimney, I have all of the bits. Let's go back outside. I have all of the bits to put a twin wall flue up through the ceiling, through the roof. Got the flashing. I've got a bit of twin wall that I'll just use, and I've got a bit of black pipe, and I'll make something out of it to make it work. There's something else in here I saw there just before I came out. Set of drain rods. No, not drain rods. Electrician's wire pulling rods. You know, stuff like that. Is there stuff out here I found as well? A couple of DeWalt boxes. Box of screwdrivers from that skip. Box of plastic pegs for holding down ground cover material. I haven't made a video about this fellow, if you can see it in there. It's an enormous burner, like a 12-inch burner for like a wok or a big pot boiler. I managed to resurrect that. It was filthy, left out the back of a restaurant and not really working, but I like playing with gas, and it's a portable appliance, I might say. So yeah, I had to go with that. Got it going. Spark's not right on it yet. It's meant to have a piezo igniter and it doesn't quite work. It doesn't really work at all. So I might need to put a different one on it. Might make a video of that, or I might not. Well, it's up to you. You tell me what you want to see in videos and I might make videos. I got this thing in that skip as well. Let's have a look at this. So you become used to these videos after a fashion. This is just a rambling update of me talking to the camera about what's going on. A full auto glim set. Care balm for leather. You know, all these things. It's used, but it's mostly full by the weight of it. So this guy was just throwing everything out. Plastering tools and other stuff. 4 cans of line marking spray. I did that damage, but you know, they're all full. Well, that one's not quite full. That one's fuller. I must like blue. Yeah, loads of stuff if you just keep your eyes peeled. Right, what else is to be seen? Let's go into the cellar and we'll have a look down there. Found a load of firewood. A neighbour of a friend left this timber out and put it on a WhatsApp group, and so I asked for it and I got it. Yeah, okay, into the cellar, into the kitchen first. So this is an interesting fellow and I've been making a video about it, but I'm a bit stumped. It's a Russell Hobbs heat pump RH9HP TD111W. Russell Hobbs, which is a generic heat pump tumble dryer. I bought this for money, 25 quid, from a guy, seemed genuine. The listing said no power to the board, and that's the way I got it. Or it didn't say no power to the board, it said you plug it in, nothing happens, no power. So I've been messing with it, and I've got obviously taken it apart. It's given a code of 1, or like a half of a 1DDD at the moment. Something ain't right. If I turn it on, press the on button, it just beeps at me. Now, depending, after a bit of sleuthing, depending on how you wiggle these wires here, look, so it went off there. If I pull that one back, I've lost the display there now, and the light is coming on and off inside as I'm doing this. I've lost that display. I faffed this for about an hour this morning. There, the display's come back on. Now it's got 18.8 and the last digit's missing. That doesn't make any sense because the wires that go to the display are up here and over on the back over here. Let's try turning it on now. It's still giving that error. So there's one other plug, probably the door interlock, I'm guessing, or a water emptying thing or some other sensor. Not in reality, but on the board is in error. It's showing an error. Different lights keep coming on. It's clearly not working right. And also, if you turn it off completely, the board is still the display is still staying on, which isn't right either. I've had it going, so wiggling it when it was upside down, I managed to get it into a position where it wouldn't flash and beep, it just would start. And it started and it ran for about 20 minutes and it was getting hot. So the heat pump end of it is right. There's a board fault, or perhaps, as I'm demonstrating here, oh look, we've got different things now. 555 kind of missing. There's something really weird going on. I wonder if it's a voltage thing or something. I don't know. Depending on how you pull them, it seemed to... So you can have it with no display, or... It's not a fault I've come across. I'm not sure if it's the board or, like, I think it's the board more than the... There, look, I've pulled the wires out of their slot, their holders. Got this kind of partial 555 up there. It's not working right. Let's just turn it off again. I don't know what to do with it. I don't need it, but I thought it would be interesting. I'm just really keen on fixing things, is how it happens. So that one's not working, but you might know what's going on and give me a heads up. So if you think you know what might be wrong with it, hit me up with a comment below. But if you're just having a stab in the dark, tell me that too. I appreciate the comments, but the stabbing in the dark means I'll have to puzzle and not really know. Like, could be a capacitor on the board is what everybody seems to say. Yeah, it could. The board looks spotlessly clean and there are no bulging capacitors or anything like that. Most of it's surface mount, so that makes it difficult to assess for somebody like me. Right, to the cellar, to other things. So the light appears. Laundry land. Oh, this machine, better turn you back on again. You're going for a 30 easy care. Turn you off, turn you on. 800 spin is as high as it'll go, so I'll have to spin it after. Press start. Now you get to listen to that machine in the background. Samsung, this is the other one with that silly door. You know, it's all corroded in there. It works really well. This is a 9 kilo, the one outside's a 9 kilo. They're probably like brother and sister machines, but this one has the, or doesn't have the tumble. I like it. Oh, this one I think has a motor with an inverter, like a regular washing machine motor. The other one has a pancake on the back, a pancake motor, so it's a direct drive rather than a belt drive. It's really sweet, really quiet. Not that it matters in the cellar, but you know, this is where we are. That's the older Samsung. It works a treat, no issues. That's the one I got and cleaned out recently. I cleaned that one out recently in a video. I've also cleaned this one out recently in a video. This one doesn't work right. This one Beko, tried it again yesterday. It doesn't work right. Everything works, but this one has a propane refrigerant. It doesn't work right. I wonder, does it say it on there somewhere? Or 290. I think that's propane. 115 grams of propane in the tank. Probably leaked. Probably doesn't work. That's the way it is. What are you going to do? Can't fix it. Well, I can't fix it. Probably can be fixed. And I'd like to learn how to fix them. I really would like to learn how to fix them, because this one's quite clean. You know. I think I might have shown this in a previous video, or it might be a video yet to come. Yeah, I think I've done a video about this, whether I've uploaded it or not. It shouldn't have failed, really. It's not that old. It's 22, is that right? So that would make it 3 years old, if that's the serial number. That one's bulletproof. I put up a video recently of that and replacing the banjo in it. It might be in the members area. Just a wonderful gas tumble dryer. Silver Miele, it's in good nick, just sitting there. I have a feeling if I get a notion, I might do the bearings on it and take the tub apart and give it a really thorough clean. I don't know. It's just another job that I don't have to do. I found those 4 DeWalt boxes in that skip. There's nothing in them. There's a drill bit in one of them, but they're a good stackable box, so I've got them. Found all this stuff in that skip as well. Rubber grommets, sensor for lighting, some back boxes, different sizes of back boxes, brand new roll of tape. It was like he'd bought loads of stuff and just never used it. Some brushes in a bag, more brushes, an extruder gun, scraper, one of these things. I think that's for hammering the edges of carpet. It's nice. And in here, some plasters hawks, some miter boxes up there, you know, just stuff, but loads of it. Now this one, been talking for a while. This is a Miele T1 tumble dryer, and I was editing this video. I've got 2 videos on this so far. I was editing them during the week. It is another heat pump. You might notice a theme: heat pump, heat pump, heat pump, heat pump, and another heat pump in the kitchen. 5 heat pumps. 3 of the heat pumps work, 2 of the tumble dryers work. This was sold as broken on eBay. This may be one of the most expensive appliances that I have ever bought. Certainly the most expensive used appliance I've ever bought. Miele T1. Sold on eBay, £106. I'm giving you the spoiler alert, TLDR here, for the other videos. They were selling it because the Miele engineer had come out because it was broken, showing it too much water in the drawer error, I think, and that wouldn't clear. The engineer came out, charged them 300 quid, took the side off it, saw that it had mouse poo in it, and said no thank you. So I brought it home, plugged it in out in the shed, and it worked. Didn't do anything. I looked in it, but I didn't do anything to it. It just worked. Dried a load of laundry. Pumped the water up fine to the drawer. So maybe moving it in the car upset whatever was in the water tank. Anyways, in the second video, which I haven't edited yet, I took it completely apart except for the heat exchange unit down the bottom with the fins and all that. If we have a look at it, this one has a sponge filter branded, and the fins are in reasonable order. Bit of damage there, but I have a video coming of repairing them whenever I get round to making it. Ian Helsby sent me some cleaning fins. I'll show you them and come back to it. A set of tools for cleaning the and straightening the fins. Thanks, Ian. So this one, it just works. I took it out. It had a mouse's nest. It has sound insulation on the sides. That was kind of scraped off, and they'd made a nest in the middle beside the compressor where it was warmest, I guess, but when it was on. There was a cat in the house, apparently. The cat must have been half useless. There was a lot of mouse poo down the bottom. Your man couldn't have seen that. All he did was charge them 300 quid, took the fuse out of the plug and taped it all up. And apparently they can claim the 300 quid off Miele when they make another purchase, which is a bit of a rip-off if you ask me, because a typical service person coming out to look at a machine wouldn't charge that much. So it had a big pile of mouse poo. The pump, they said, didn't work. The pump worked fine. I took it out and cleaned it. Miele, for whatever silly reason, they put the pump in the middle, dead centre. So you've got to take the drum out to get at the pump. Any of the other machines, Samsungs, Hot Points, Bekos, the pump is on the back, like the old condenser dryers, so you can just turn the machine around and lift the pump out and give it a shake or a bit of a clean. Anyways, I stripped it down, cleaned that, didn't open the fins because they look clean enough. And it had some damage to wires, which I guess if you're an engineer and you kind of anticipate that that would happen, I just taped them up, cleaned them and taped them up. They would probably have to replace the wiring loom if you're, you know, coming out as a branded engineer. So I could see where that's going, but well, you tell me what you think in the comments below. 300 quid's a lot for no repair, if you ask me. But it just works. It has a whole load of settings and whatnot and features and steam and things like that. I don't think that was cheap. It wasn't cheap when I bought it, but the other thing I might do is turn the door around to the other side just for funsies, because you can. Oh, and it takes this. I've put tape on it, but it takes these things called flacons or flasons. They're a little plug full of sauce, and they make your laundry smell fresh. The air blows over them and it evaporates off, and they cost 12 quid each. 2 filters, and that's foam down there, but this had a hole in it, so I think they were just using it, not worrying about that, and I don't think it matters because the first time I used it, it didn't have any tape on it, but I think it helps. Glass door, so there's some kind of quality things. It has a glass door and then a plastic outer door, but all the metal inside is razor sharp. You know, it's just bad manufacturing, I guess. But it's a nice machine. We're using that one every day now, and that one, mostly because they're the two that work and not burning the gas. Then, what else is there here? Okay, so there's another Miele thing here, which has a sweeping brush and towels on top. This, if it's this one, I think this is a microwave. Yeah, this is the microwave. So it's an oven and a microwave. I didn't pay much for it, but I did pay for it. And this one is the one I went to get. He kind of sold me that one by proximity, but this one is a Miele steam oven. So that jug on the right, this thing is a kettle basically, and it boils water, makes steam, and you steam your food. It's meant to be efficient. Clearly it's not installed if it's down here in the cellar, so you draw your own conclusions. If you know anything about them, tell me in the comments below. I'm not sure what to do with it now that I've bought it. I won't say how much I paid because it might make you cry. This fellow, the grain mill, it's been in service pretty much every day since I posted that video a few weeks ago. You wind the handle and it squeezes, where is it? You wind the handle and it squeezes the grain. Makes porridge oats out of oats. It makes squeezed oats out of oats. Yeah, that's all it does. Oh, there's something else I found up here. I found this one. There's a lot of stuff down here. So, DeWalt. And this was, you know, it had a bit of paint on the outside there or something. But almost all of the bits were here. All those bits were intact. It was missing the saws and the arbor, but I had them. This wasn't with it, but it was also in the skip, so a set of PZ2 bits. Then it had all these bits present, but 1 or 2 were missing, so I just took them out of the boxes of other bits I found. A couple of drill bits were missing, but I'd say it had 80%, 90% of the bits in the box, and I don't know what these cost, 10, 20 quid, but, you know, it's just handy. I like screwdriver bits, because if you've got a drill kicking around in the cellar, and you've got another drill outside in the shed, you don't want to be going and coming to the shed to get your bits, so there. Found some light bulbs as well in a skip. And I also found recently in a dustbin a load of these iPhone and phone repair tools, and this is a Gear Do, quite a nice set with a nice interchangeable bit set, so that was cool. Yeah, and then over on the floor, this was found somewhere else, but delivered. This is from Andy Reynolds, who was mentioned at the start. This is a laser level on a tripod. Appears to be working, so cheers Andy for that. This is a Bosch. This is what I asked Andy for. He put up a video of things. A Bosch GST 100 BCE, a little jigsaw. It even has a little fan that you can turn on and off, and it does like kicking and stuff like that. Quite a tidy little tool. Quite pleased with that, Andy. Thanks for that. A Bosch jigsaw. So that will get used and will come in handy. Down there, I think it is. No, there it is. That's the DeWalt core drill. Found that in a skip. Showed that in a previous video. I think the cable was broken on it, or something like that. Just too easy a repair, really. You know, these things, scary what people throw away for the sake of a little tiny bit of work. And then hiding somewhere here. I don't know where it's gone, actually. Where's it gone? There's the big Bosch drill. Has it gone right into the back there? I don't know where I've put it. Somewhere. Oh, there it is. The big GBH 5 kilo Bosch breaker. GBH 540 DE. That I did a full service and stripped down on with the service kit. Spent a load of money on it for some strange reason. There's a previous video about that as well. So if you're new to the channel and this update video has piqued your interest, think about subscribing. Think about becoming a member. The membership thing is an interesting option. It helps people, gives people an option to help the channel. You know, YouTube pays me some money and it all comes out in the end. If you want to give me money directly, PayPal's the way to go. But if you want to support the channel on an ongoing basis, this membership thing seems to be the way to go. And I'll say, there's about as many £1 members as there is £5 members or £3 members. So I'm really pleased with that, and I'm really grateful for that, I think is the word. And there's quite a number of members, more than I ever thought would sign up, and probably more will come. So check out the membership thing. Even if you just check it out and don't become a member and just subscribe, just have a look at it and see what you think. I'd appreciate it. I'd also appreciate a comment. So comments on whether or not you've ever heard of anybody regassing a tumble dryer. There's a video of a fellow, maybe Polish, who's regassing one. He's a refrigeration engineer and he just happened to know how to do it and have all the tools and a spare Sunday to take the machine basically down to its last nuts and bolts to get at the compressor and regas it. You know, it's a bit of work. It's something that I could do, but you've got to buy the equipment to do it, and you're a few £100 out, and then you've got to buy the gas. And in this case, you know, it's propane, but it's refrigerant grade propane, so it has almost no moisture in it. And you also have to purge the machine first with, I think, really pure nitrogen or something. So you're into two different gases, gauges, a vacuum pump. Yeah, it's just not worth it for a machine like this. Like, there's better parts in this machine than anything else. So, you know, I did buy that one and this one for, you know, relatively small money, but it was kind of pointless when I expected with the Samsung that cleaning it would fix it the way this one did, but I think with this one I just got lucky. This one needed that thorough cleaning and then more recently a power washing, and it just works because there's no damage to the compressor, even though it has corrosion and stuff on the refrigeration fins down the bottom. These ones, I don't know. I don't know. They just don't work. All the stuff works, but not the heat pump. And I've looked at, you know, buying a new heat pump as a replacement, but you're into like £200 or more. Well, that's silly, you know, throwing good money after bad. Especially when in the past I've found heat pump tumble dryers on the street. I found, I think it was a Candy a while ago, an integrated Candy, and it had a damaged drum. So if I had that Candy now, it may very well be the same as the Beko to swap out. I don't know. And I also found another one that Andy Lee has. And I just gave it to him because like I've said before in videos, I don't like selling stuff. I'd rather just bring stuff to the scrapyard if it doesn't work, or give it to a mate, or just keep it if it does work. I've no issue having 5 tumble dryers. You can't really see it, but if you get in there, that big Miele is still here. And I would really like to fix the timer issue, but then just bring it to the scrapyard. And that's just a waste of my time. So I should probably just bring it to the scrapyard first and get the time back and the space. But here we are. I still have to go to the scrapyard, and there's 5 machines out there, and I just can't be bothered. So, I've been rambling for 30 minutes, and you're never going to get that bit of life back. Neither am I. And that Bosch, Andy Reynolds gave me that years ago, and I made a series of stripping it down and putting it back together. Check out my other videos about it. If you type in WFP 3300 Boots Owen, it'll come up. It loads a lime scale, and like, there's nothing wrong with it originally. I just thought I'd clean it up a bit, and it just worked. A great machine. Cleaned it up. Put new bearings in it. Yeah, great. So there, that's that one. In the other room, there's 2 gas tumble dryers that you've seen videos of recently, and 2 washing machines, a WFF 2000 and a WFF 1800, and the ancient hot point, and that's about all there is in there. So I won't go in there right now, and I'll just bid you farewell. Thanks for watching. Think about liking, subscribing, becoming a member, but especially, more than anything else, think about leaving a comment below. Tell me about the treasures you've found recently, how you're fighting the man by not buying stuff. Cheers for now. See you later.